Happy Wednesday, everybody. Before we get into questions, Coach Marrone just wanted to provide a couple updates, but keep raising your hands and I'll call on you accordingly.
Yeah, this one will probably be a little long, so all you guys can follow with me on this. Give you guys the same information that I know. So first of all, since tomorrow's Thanksgiving and we won't be together, I just wanted to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully everyone can have a safe one, with COVID and everything that's going on. So it's a family holiday. So it's just, I'm sure a lot of people have some challenges with that. All right. Second, so obviously the COVID protocols have come out and we have, our defensive staff working remotely. So what does that mean? Well, that means myself and Coach Mallory will be running the defense during the week as we practice. So we'll take care of that. According to the protocol, 3 coaches won't be available for Sunday. Coach Wash is one, Coach Rebovich, and Coach Stukes. So what'll happen there is Joe Dan will call the defense. He's called the defense here last year during the preseason. He's called them in the preseason games. I'm sure some in Atlanta, and he's done it at Georgia Southern. So, obviously we've worked together. I've been on the phones with him. That's something that I think most teams always prepare for in case of an emergency. Then obviously with COVID, everything is kind of ramped up to making sure that we're all backed up in everything that we do. So Tony Gilbert will coach the defensive line during the game. Tyler Wolf will go up in the box to take care of all his responsibilities. So that's how we're handling that. And that's about all I can say about the protocol stuff with COVID. So I'm not going to be able to talk about anything else, for league rules. So that's where we are. Quarterback. I spoke to the 3 quarterbacks this morning. Myself, Jay, and Ben spent a lot of time on it. What I told them was, hey, listen, first I spoke to Jake. I told Jake that, hey, hey, we really appreciate everything, really like a lot of things that you're doing, but we're just going to take a step back and just kind of digest things for a while and just look at things and get you back on track. So, he's fine. I think he's got a chance to become a good football player in this league. Gardner said he's feeling good. He's still listed as limited on the report. I just feel like we can't get enough throws in during this week. I want him to have a full week of a full load of work, before I put someone in there. I don't have a problem with him, backing up this week. And if he has to go in there for a quarter or half a game or whatever it may be, if something happens with Mike, then at least he's available. And then obviously, Mike will go ahead and he'll get the start. So that was the thought process there. So that's 3. Injury wise, Laviska should be out there limited. James O'Shaughnessy should be limited out there. Sidney Jones is not going to practice today. Tyler Eifert's limited. He's in concussion protocol. Jared Wilson will be out there limited. Clay Books won't practice. Norwell won't practice. You'll see Shaq Quarterman and Avery Jones working. They're coming back off. They got 3 weeks, to practice before any decisions have to be made. Obviously, they can be made quicker at any time. DJ Chark is not going to practice. Chris Conley is not going to practice. So we'll see where those guys are. Cam Robinson, we'll see where he is this morning. He just has an illness, not COVID related. And then obviously we put 3 guys on IR: Daniel Thomas, DJ Hayden, and Josh Allen. You also know that Chase McLaughlin was placed on reserve COVID yesterday. So Rosas, who's on our practice squad, will be taking over those duties. So I think that's pretty much everything.
Thanks, Coach. First question, we'll go to Hayes.
Hey, Doug, what do you like about Mike Glennon, and why do you think he's the right choice? Could you just elaborate a little bit more on what you've seen out of Mike Glennon that gives you confidence that he's your guy Sunday?
I think he gives us the best chance to win, one. Like I said before, Jake's going to take a step back. Gardner's still limited, without a full week workload on. I don't want to put anyone out there that, I haven't seen do a full work week. And, Mike's experienced, and that's why we brought him in here to be able to fill in, whenever we need him. So, he'll get his opportunity.
Great. Thanks.
Thanks, Hayes. We'll go to D-Rock.
Like, how difficult, challenging is this week going to be defensively with all the changes you're talking about there? And how is practice going to run, with you having to be over on that side of the ball too?
Yeah, it's not a problem. I mean, a lot of us, when we started coaching, we used to coach both sides of the football, we have other coaches helping and support. The players will do a good job. I don't see it as anything except adversity, that you face, but it's not going to affect the way we plan or the way we do things. I mean, the only part of what the coaches aren't involved in are going to be actually just whatever hour and 20 minutes we're on the football field. Other than that, then they're all in there. So I don't see it as a major thing, something that, obviously will be discussed, will be talked about. Like I told the player, the biggest challenge we have is on Sunday. That's what our challenge is going to try to win a football game on Sunday. That's what I told the team today. And I'm looking forward to having fun with
it. Just so I can be clear on this, they'll still run the meetings and stuff virtually, and then can they be involved in any way on Sunday, the assistants, from home or whatever?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. But they will still run the meetings and everything during the week virtually?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, D-Rock. We'll go to John Shipley.
Hey, Coach. You mentioned Gardner still being limited. Is he at least making the progress that you would like to see to the point where you think it's at least nearing the time that he can get back on the field?
Yeah, I just think I want to see a full week's work. You know what I'm saying? I want to get a full week's work in there, knowing that, hey, listen, he's ready to go. He's 100%. That was the one thing I wanted to do. So I think we're at that last stage right now.
Okay. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Shipley. We'll go to Mark Long.
Hey, Doug.
Hey, Mark.
I'm just curious, what was the impetus here for your decision? Was it just Jake looked, kind of lost on Sunday? Was it the 3 games in total? Was it just trying to look for a spark at this point?
No, I don't think I don't think it's uncommon. You know what I'm saying? When a young guy gets thrown in there and he shows promise, and then you look to see a little bit of the technique, a little bit of the stuff start to go down, maybe because there's much concern on whether it's protection or whatever it may be. And I think that, if you keep it out there, like I said, there's a lot of good things I see in Jake, and I think it's just a smart move to take a step back with him. Okay, right now. That's just how I feel. It's been done. It's done during the course of games. We've seen it done last week in the NFL, So, I mean, I think that's understandable, and people could understand that. That especially people that are in the league and understand what's going on, and I think people on the outside too. All right. Number 2 is, Gardner was hurt. He was injured. I've seen him throw a little bit. I want to make sure someone that I put out there is 100%. You know what I'm saying? I don't want any setbacks. I want someone out there that, is 100% that can go, because that position's a little bit different. It's not like any other position where you can say, hey, we're going to give this other guy some reps and he's going to go in there. Hey, maybe he may make it through the game, may not, but hey, we've got a guy in there that's ready to go, that's been, doing it. That position, because of the game planning that goes into it, that player has to get all the reps, and I got to feel, confident that that guy can make it through a whole game and can do everything that we're asking him. So that's what I felt about, and Mike's the only one right now that's 100% healthy, I mean, Jake is, but we're taking a step back with him. And then with Gardner, this week we're going to increase his throws. We're going to do all that stuff to make sure that he's on track to, where he is. Because like I said before, I haven't seen him throw fully for a whole week. And what I didn't want to do is go in there and say, okay, Gardner's going to start, and then all of a sudden during the week it doesn't look as good, he doesn't look as healthy, and then now I got to make a switch at the end. So I think it was just more, Mark, not feel or what I feel's best or what, it wasn't any of that. I just think it was more just, hey, here's what it is on paper. What's the common sense, decision to make, and what's best for the team. Who's out there? Someone beeping a horn?
It's a long story, but yes, basically my wrecked car is getting towed today.
I hope everyone's okay from what happened.
Just me. I hit the windshield. I had a concussion. I was in the concussion protocol.
Are you? Okay. And they're still letting you work?
I didn't tell my bosses. Like some guys in the NFL, I hit it for a few days.
That was a good one.
I did tell my wife though, so she let me continue to play.
That's why she doesn't. So she doesn't
forced me back in the game. So there's that.
Doesn't yell at you.
Yeah.
Wish I could use that excuse. Tell my wife I have a concussion. She wouldn't believe me.
Hey, so is Chase or Rosas? Is it you gonna stick with Chase if he's eligible to come back by Sunday?
Chase will not be eligible to come back. We're going to go with Rosas.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, one more on the COVID situation. I don't know how much you can get into it, but Jason didn't play. Jason was ruled out before the game, and I'm just curious, was the contact tracing all predated all that?
That's a good question. I wish I could answer it accurately right now because I've had to deal with so many different things, on the COVID front, but the league and everyone's working together on it, and it just kind of comes down the pipeline. So I try not to get too much involved with it because once something happens, there's so many other changes that have to occur that I really can't answer that question. I really don't know all of that. So I apologize.
No, we're good. Thank you. Hey, can you see that?
Ooh, it's awful.
Yeah, it's bad.
I'm sorry for that.
Thanks, Mark. I hope you feel better soon. We'll go to John Reed.
How you doing, Coach? Coach, man, just listening to all what you just said a few minutes ago, man. How do you, do you just approach that whatever happens? I mean, like it's one thing after the next, and this week is so much different things going on with your team. What is your? How do you handle all? You just say what happens, or what?
Players, man, I'm kind of fired up. You know what I'm saying? Be on that defensive side of the ball. I'm gonna have the music cranking today. My music I'm gonna play. I get to play mine now, so they might not like it, but I'll be all fired up out there. So I'm good with it. They understand what's going on. They're professionals. I told them expect the unexpected this season. I'm not one to go ahead and mope around with it. I'm gonna have some fun. I might be calling it too by the end of the week. You never know.
So we'll see a lot of blitzes then. Okay.
Well, I don't be giving away my background now.
What's your first choice for song then, Doug, at practice today?
Oh, we're going all 80s. We're mixed 80s, baby. 80s. There you go. I like it. Now, if I went like the players, I don't know if they're going to like it, but
all right,
one of the advantages of being the head coach.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Mia. Shipley, you have one more?
Yeah, I do. I got one more.
Go ahead.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned earlier that you'd be comfortable if Gardner had to.
Is that clock wrong behind you? Is that clock wrong behind you? Honestly.
Oh yeah, no, it's not right at all. It hasn't been right in like the 6 or 7 years I've lived here.
Yeah, it freaks me out, like you're in a different time zone or something.
Yeah, no, it's strictly for show.
Go ahead.
You mentioned you'd be comfortable if Gardner had to go into the game and he's going to be the backup on Sunday. So is it more so?
I'm saying that right now. Let's see how he does during the week.
Okay, so
you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course. So if during the week he doesn't, I guess, throw how you want to see him throw, then Jake will be the backup on Sunday.
Yeah, if I don't see where I think he should be, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to clear that up. Thanks.
I couldn't split the reps this week. You know what I'm saying, and do something like that. I just didn't think that would be beneficial for our team.
Of course. Thanks, Coach.
Yep. No problem.
Thanks, Shipley. We'll go to Gene.
Hey, Doug. You said that you weren't entirely comfortable with Minshew because you want to see him throw more, but you think he could go in for like a quarter or two if that were to happen. What would happen? Then what in your mind makes you feel comfortable if for any reason Glennon goes down like in the first series?
Yeah, I think during the week I'm going to know more about that. So I was just telling everyone what my thought process is. I was just trying to be honest and share all the information, that's going in. If he goes out there and has a really good week of throwing and does well, then I'll feel comfortable putting him in that position. If he goes out there and doesn't feel well, then I'm not. Then I'll have Jake being the backup there. So I didn't want to. I was just trying to be truly just tell you guys everything that's on my mind and how all the thought process went. Like I said, he's been throwing. It feels good. Now when we ramp up the throws, how he's going to feel after that, I don't know. I really don't. So, I know he's chomping at the bit to get out there, but at the same time, how am I going to give him? How am I going to go in? I'm not going to roll the dice. I'm just not going to do that and say, okay, hey, let's see, let's split the reps, get everything going, and then we'll make a decision at the end of the week. You got different quarterbacks switching around. It's just too much. It's just too much gray right now for me with that.
Okay, thank you.
So to answer your question, yes. I mean that's not a definite. I'm not definitely that.
Thank you.
That's one of the things I'd like to be able to do. I'm saying, Gene, if he increases. I'm saying it looks good, but I wouldn't be able to throw him in there without all the full week of work.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Gene. We'll go to Mia.
Doug, I know it was in the litany of different who's practicing, who's not, but you said Sidney Jones out again. Now that you've had a couple days to digest it, what is the plan and how comfortable are you with the secondary and what the starting lineup may look like on Sunday?
I mean, it looked like, Trey Herndon at one corner, and trying to figure out who's going to be the other corner. I mean, that's what it's going to be. So I don't have that answer right now. We've got, two players on the practice squad. We got Josiah Scott, Barku, Trey Herndon. That's it. So, I mean, it's not a lot of things we can do. So we'll see who we're going to put out there, see how it does during the week, take a look at the matchups, like we've been talking about. And then, whoever probably plays the best will play.
And then I would assume one of them also has to slide over to nickel, correct?
Yeah, we've got a couple of those. I'm not as concerned about, the nickel's position. We've got a couple of those guys that are probably more suited to play inside than they are outside.
Thanks, Mia. We'll wrap up with Hayes.
Hey, Doug, how is Joe Schobert playing for you?
It's hard to say, I mean, Joe's doing a nice job. I mean, it's just, I thought he did really well versus the run last week. I thought he was much more aggressive on it, which was great to see. And, he tries and, he plays as hard as he can on each snap. So, it's hard. There's some good individual performances at times, but like I said before, the consistency of us as a whole it's the reason why where we are right now, both, as us as coaches and us as players. So we all own the record. And, like I said, we've got to look forward now and do the best job we can and try to get a win on Sunday, and that's what we're concentrating on.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Hayes. Thank you, Coach. Coach Gruden will be the only coordinator available today because Coach Wash is out. So if you need anything on the defensive side of the ball, let me know, and we can.
You can ask me now.
Or ask it now.
There you go, Alex.
Demetrius?
Hey, could I ask? Just with obviously with Josh Allen out the next few weeks, how important is it going to be for you guys to see something more out of Caleb on this week, or just moving forward?
Yeah, Caleb on, saying Aaron Lynch, we got to look at guys that we want to put in those packages out there and get them. So, hopefully we'll, obviously some players are going to have to increase their reps. And, Caleb on, would be a great example of a guy that, possibly we could increase his reps to go in there and keep it production. So, I think a lot of these guys now, the one thing is, hey, you got a lot of young guys on this team, and, sometimes you don't have the ability to see them go out there and play. But because of the injuries and whatever happens, those guys are getting that chance. So you're going to know early on whether you see, if a guy's, can play, not play, or where he's at, or what does he need, or the development of a player. So, from that standpoint, you're getting, everyone's getting a look at the whole roster almost.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Demetrius. If anyone else has anything throughout the week, just let me know. We'll have Coach Gruden here at 12:15, and then Glennon and Joe Schober after practice at around 2:45. Thank you, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Thanksgiving.